Welcome back to the Alpha Code. Today, we're diving into The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene, a deep, insightful guide to understanding why people act the way they do. Whether you're looking to improve your relationships, advance in your career, or just get better at reading people, these 18 laws are like a cheat code to mastering human behavior. Stick around to learn how these timeless principles can give you the upper hand in life. And hey, if you love content that empowers you and sharpens your understanding of people, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Let's dive into the 18 laws of human nature. Law 1. The law of irrationality. Master your emotions. The first thing you need to understand about human nature is that people are not as rational as they think they are. Emotions often control decisions more than logic. The key is to become aware of your emotional impulses and learn how to master them. Example: think of that time you made a snap decision while angry. Maybe you sent an email or said something you regret. It wasn't your irrational brain that made that choice. It was your emotions. To master this law, become a student of your emotions. When you feel a strong emotional pull, step back, analyze it, and make a rational decision once you're calm. Law 2. The law of narcissism. Transform self-love into empathy. Everyone is narcissistic to some degree. The key is to recognize this in yourself and others. Narcissism often leads people to act out of self-interest, but the true power comes when you turn your focus from yourself to others and develop empathy. Example: think about social media. It's a stage for narcissism, right? Everyone is trying to project their best self, but those who understand the law of empathy, the ability to get into someone else's mind, can connect with people on a deeper level. Empathy is what will make you stand out in a world full of self-centered people. Law 3. The law of role-playing. Embrace the masks you wear. We all wear masks in life. Sometimes you need to adapt to different situations and act in ways that fit the moment. This isn't about being fake. It's about being strategic. Example: when you're at work, you might be more professional and reserved. When you're with friends, you're relaxed and easygoing. Both of these versions are true parts of you, but they're different masks. Understanding this law will help you to better navigate social situations. Learn to wear the right mask for the right occasion. Law 4. The law of compulsive behavior. Recognize patterns in yourself and others. People are creatures of habit. We all have patterns of behavior that we repeat, often without realizing it. The key to mastering this law is to become aware of your own compulsions and to observe them in others. Example: have you ever noticed how some people always sabotage their success, or others keep picking the same type of toxic relationships? Those are compulsive patterns. By recognizing and breaking these patterns in yourself, you gain control over your actions. When you learn to recognize these in others, you can predict their behavior and make better decisions in how you deal with them. Law 5. The law of covetousness. Become an object of desire. People want what they can't have. This law taps into the psychology of desire. The more someone feels they can't have you, whether it's your attention, your skills, or your love, the more they will want you. Example: in marketing, scarcity tactics work wonders. Think of limited edition products. They create a sense of urgency and desire because people fear missing out. Apply this in your life by becoming a bit more unpredictable and scarce. Don't always be available, and people will value your time and presence much more. Law 6. The law of short-sightedness. Elevate your perspective. Many people get caught up in short-term thinking. They react to immediate problems without considering the long-term consequences. To master this law, you need to learn to step back and see the bigger picture. Example: in chess, a novice player will react to each move without thinking ahead, but a grandmaster will have the entire game planned out several moves in advance. The same goes for life. Are you reacting to small, immediate challenges, or are you seeing how today's decisions will affect your future? Train yourself to think long-term, and you'll find that your decisions become more powerful and strategic. Law 7. The law of defensiveness. Soften people's resistance. People naturally resist when they feel attacked or criticized. To get what you want, you need to make others feel understood and validated. If you're too aggressive, they'll only dig in deeper. Example: Imagine trying to convince a stubborn person of your point of view. If you come on too strong, they'll resist even more. Instead, approach them with understanding, validate their perspective, and gently lead them to your way of thinking. This softens their defenses. Use this law in negotiations, debates, or anytime you need to persuade someone. Law 8. The law of self-sabotage. Change your circumstances by changing your attitude. Many people unknowingly sabotage their own success by adopting a negative mindset. The way you perceive challenges and failures is crucial. With a positive, proactive attitude, you can turn any setback into a stepping stone. Example, take someone like Oprah Winfrey. She came from a background of poverty and abuse, but used her challenges to fuel her success. She didn't see herself as a victim, and her attitude allowed her to build an empire. If you're feeling stuck in life, ask yourself, is your attitude contributing to your situation? By changing the way you think, you can unlock new opportunities. Law 9. The law of repression. Confront your dark side. We all have a dark side, parts of ourselves we prefer to ignore or hide. But repressing these elements can lead to emotional outbursts or destructive behavior. The key is to confront and integrate your dark side. Example, think of someone who's always nice, never showing anger, until one day they explode in a fit of rage. That's what happens when you repress your darker emotions. It's much healthier to acknowledge these feelings and deal with them constructively. Embrace your full self, including the parts that aren't as pretty, and you'll become a more balanced and powerful individual. Law 10. The law of envy. Beware the fragility of success. Success often breeds envy, and those around you may secretly wish for your downfall. You need to be aware of this and manage envy before it becomes destructive. Example, think of any high-performing professional who suddenly finds themselves surrounded by colleagues who are less supportive. Behind the smiles might be resentment. To master this law, acknowledge the envy around you. Be humble in your success and sometimes even deflect attention away from your achievements to diffuse others' envy. Law 11. The law of grandiosity. Control your ego's inflated ambitions. Success can lead to inflated egos. When people achieve something great, they often fall into the trap of thinking they're invincible. This can lead to reckless decisions and eventual failure. Example, in the tech world, think of companies that grew too fast, took unnecessary risks, and crumbled. WeWork is a classic example. Overestimating your abilities is a sure way to lose everything. Stay grounded in your accomplishments no matter how successful you become, and you'll avoid the pitfalls of grandiosity. Law 12. The law of gender rigidity. Reconnect with your primal nature. Human nature isn't as rigid as society might suggest. We all have both masculine and feminine traits, and we must learn to embrace both sides. By doing so, you become more fluid, more adaptable, and more powerful. Example, leaders who can blend the toughness of traditional masculinity with the nurturing qualities of femininity are often the most successful. Think of someone like Barack Obama, strong, yet empathetic and understanding. Mastering this balance makes you more relatable and respected by others. Law 13. The law of aimlessness. Advance with purpose. People often drift through life without clear goals. This leads to a lack of direction and fulfillment. To master this law, you must develop a strong sense of purpose and follow it with unwavering focus. Example, take someone like Elon Musk. He has a clear vision of colonizing Mars, and everything he does is aimed toward that goal. His purpose drives his every move and success. If you want to achieve power and fulfillment in life, define your purpose and let it guide all your actions. Law 14. The law of conformity. Resist the pull of the group. Humans are naturally social creatures, and the need to fit in with the group can be overwhelming. We often follow trends, beliefs, or opinions simply because others do. But true power lies in your ability to think independently and resist the pull of conformity. Example, think of someone like Steve Jobs. In a world where tech companies were following established rules, Jobs chose to think differently, challenging conventions and creating revolutionary products like the iPhone. His refusal to conform is what set him apart. This law teaches us to develop our own path, even if it means going against the crowd. The people who stand out are the ones who break away from groupthink and cultivate unique perspectives. Law 15. The law of fickleness. Expect people to change their allegiances. People are often unpredictable and fickle. Their opinions, loyalties, and feelings can shift, especially when power dynamics change. You must never assume that someone's loyalty or support will remain constant. Example: in politics, we constantly see this law at play. Today's ally can become tomorrow's enemy if circumstances change. Think of historical figures like Julius Caesar, who was betrayed by his closest allies when they saw an opportunity to seize power. The lesson here is to never take loyalty for granted. Always be prepared for shifts in relationships and power, and build alliances cautiously. Law 16. The law of aggression. See people's true intentions beneath the surface. Human nature is often driven by aggressive impulses, but most people hide their true intentions behind a friendly or polite mask. You must learn to see through these masks and recognize when others are acting out of self-interest or aggression. Example: in the corporate world, you may have experienced colleagues who seem supportive but are secretly trying to undermine you. This law is about developing the ability to see people's hidden agendas and act accordingly. To master this, learn to observe people's body language, tone, and subtle cues. Those who can read beneath the surface will always have the upper hand. Law 17. The law of generational myopia. See the bigger historical picture. Most people are limited by the time they're living in. They get caught up in the trends and beliefs of their generation, often unaware of the larger historical context. To truly understand human nature, you must see beyond your era and understand the bigger picture. Example: think about how different generations view issues like technology or social justice. Each generation tends to believe its views are correct, often without considering the cyclical nature of history. By understanding this, you can see how current events are part of a larger pattern and make more informed decisions. When you see things from a broad historical perspective, you can act more wisely and strategically rather than being swayed by the trends of your time. Law of death, denial. Accept the reality of mortality. The final law is perhaps the most profound. People often live their lives as though they will never die, avoiding thoughts of mortality. But by confronting the reality of death, you can live a more meaningful and powerful life. Example: consider the Stoic philosophy of memento mori, which translates to "remember you will die." The Stoics believed that by regularly contemplating death, you would live more fully and with greater purpose. By accepting that life is finite, you'll focus on what truly matters and act with urgency. Embracing this law allows you to let go of trivial worries and fears, and to pursue your ambitions with the knowledge that time is limited. It's a powerful motivator to live boldly and authentically. And there you have it, the 18 laws of human nature. These laws are all about gaining a deeper understanding of yourself and others. By mastering them, you'll not only improve your relationships, but also sharpen your instincts in navigating life's complex social dynamics. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. Stay sharp, stay strategic, and remember, knowledge is power. Thanks for watching the Alpha Code, and I'll see you next time.